Wow, look at this sick item I found.
What? What are you talking about, loser? That doesn't even have perfect defense. Charsi that crap.
Whoa, 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 fellas. You shouldn't be selling things at Charsi. You need to be buying things from Charsi. The very first one we'll take a look at here is actually a 4-socketed armor. Unfortunately, I got a bad life roll on it. This only has 1 to life, but this does show that the concept is actually true. You can get 4-socketed armors straight from Charsi that actually has life on it. The life on the armor can actually get up to 100, and if you get one that's up there in the 90s or up to 100 even, which is incredibly uncommon, I will admit, they can be worth quite a bit. So for example of what I mean by worth high runes, I seen one for trade, for example, that somebody actually offered the equivalent of Vex for the armor that had in the 90s for life with 4 open sockets. Another socketed armor type that you can get from Charsi that is actually kind of valuable is these ones with 24% faster hit recovery, so the ones with the stability mod on it. This one, unfortunately, that I got only ended up with 3 sockets on it, but once again, you want to get 4 open sockets on it, hopefully like an example I'll put up next to me over here, and those can have some good value even on the trade market. So I've seen on some trade sites, somebody actually buy, in the last couple of days, one of these armors with 24% faster hit recovery for about the equivalent of a low rune. So that's some really good value for something that you literally walked over to Charsi and bought yourself. Another item that you can shop straight from Charsi that has pretty good value is actually 320 gloves. Now the 3 is 2 Amazon skills of a particular skill tree, and the 20 is increased attack speed. Now you can find some rare gloves that would be 220, but actually when you get so many skill points into Lightning Fury, even just 1 extra skill point like would be on from the 220 rare gloves to the 320 magic gloves is actually a ton of damage. So people that are trying to max out the amount of damage that their Lightning Fury Javazon is putting out love to have these 320 gloves. Now unfortunately I couldn't find 320 Javelin gloves, but I did find these 320 passive and magic skill gloves just as an example of that you can actually find these 3 to skills from Charsi. Now for an example of the value, when I was looking up what these would exactly go for, I seen people offer to buy them for about an Istrune, and I seen people trying to sell them for about 2 Istrunes. So take that for what you will. I'm guessing the value is somewhere in between there, 1 and 2 Istrunes. This particular one I'm showing you right here, this is not some end game type of thing that's going to have a ton of value, but I do want to mention a lot of stuff you can buy from Charsi early on in the first week of ladder can really help you out, such as you can get stuff like bow skills and javelin skills and the passive magic skills for the Amazon, but you can get magic find items from the vendors, including Charsi. Here you see there's 25 magic find on these gloves that can really help you find better gear really early on in ladder, just something you can throw on and use instead of whatever garbage you had on before. And also you can see right here, not only magic find gloves, but you can actually find magic find boots as well, so you could even get up in the 60% magic find just from stuff that you bought straight from Charsi. Now you see here this one actually has enhanced defense on it, but actually on the gloves and on the boots you can also get different resistances. So if your lightning res is too low, you can buy lightning res boots. Perhaps you could even get 2 modifiers, you get some magic find, and you get some fire res to boost that up too. So don't sleep on buying stuff from Charsi early on after the first ladder here. Another thing that can help you out early on in ladder, not super valuable, really not a whole lot of value at all, but you can buy belts that have a ton of life, you can buy belts that have a ton of strength, and you can also get hit recovery on belts along with a ton of variety of other stuff too. So this is another slot to where early on in ladder you can definitely go over to a vendor, and until you get one of those better uniques that you find after you're farming a little bit, this might be the best possible thing you can get up until this point. It can definitely help out your character a bunch. Now we already talked about the armor through life earlier in the video. Now you can actually also get helms with 3 open sockets and then have life totals on top of that. Now generally when people are looking for helms with life in the sockets, they always want the tiaras because they have the no strength requirement. You can put them on like any character. You know, there's different reasons for why they always want tiaras, but you cannot buy those from vendors. But super early on, maybe you need a budget option for your mercenary, maybe you need a budget option for your character, You can get a 3 open socketed helm here that you can get a bunch of life on. You can go ahead and put runes into it. You can go ahead and put gems into it. All more stuff to help boost up your character. Once again, this stuff that you buy isn't necessarily going to be the most valuable, but early on, it can definitely help your character out a bunch.